Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Today, me and my family are at the Cherokee County Museum, which is located in Gaffney, South Carolina. The Cherokee County Museum is a history and arts museum that's interactive and artifact-based. It focuses on history, arts, science, technology, engineering, and math. We kind of stumbled upon this museum. We were in the area visiting family, and I Googled, fun things to do in the Gaffney area, and this was one of the things that popped up. So we decided to come check it out, especially because my father-in-law, he's a veteran and he loves history, especially like war history and stuff like that. So we decided to come check it out. We had our kids with us, and this museum is so kid-friendly. You will see later on there is a whole kid section, but it's a very interactive museum. And I'm honestly so glad that we kind of found this museum. I asked some of my family that live in the area surrounding Gaffney if they had ever been, and they had never even heard of this museum. So it might be like a hidden treasure in the area, but it is amazing. And it's kind of on the smaller side, but it is jam-packed with stuff. And they have so many historical artifacts. There's just so much to look at and so much to read, and everything is just fascinating and in really great condition. It's very affordable also. I think there was a $5 charge for adults and a $3 charge for children, which is extremely reasonable in this day and age. We went on a Friday, and as you can see, we almost had the whole thing to ourselves. There were just a few other people walking around looking at things, but we mostly had the museum to ourselves, so not crowded at all. And the staff here was super helpful. They were right there to answer any questions. They wanted to interact with you. They wanted to show you things. We had one of the employees actually opened up display and let my husband and my father-in-law hold a vintage antique gun that, is usually on display and people can't touch. So they were just amazing at wanting it to be a fun, interactive, and memorable experience here at this museum.
This is the motor right here. Wow.
Is it heavy?
Hey.
One of the highlights of this museum, and one of the things that they boast about, is the 90-foot Revolutionary War mural. And as you can see, this mural is amazing. It wraps around this entire room and just kind of depicts this intense battle scene of the Revolutionary War. And it was very amazing to see, especially as it's set kind of as the backdrop for all of these Revolutionary War era artifacts. It was very cool to see. Oh my goodness, look at you guys. So cool. Dress up. Try it, Emmy.
There's different sizes in it. I don't want to wear a skirt. Okay.
What? are you doing? Oh, there you go. Wear the bonnet. This whole little section was kind of about families that moved here in the early 1900s to this area. It was a poor area in the beginning, lots of cotton fields and stuff like that. And so they had almost like this old little, cabin house here set up as it might have looked back in that time. And a lot of different artifacts from that time also, and a lot of things to read about different families that settled in the area and kind of how they lived their day-to-day life back in that time. This museum, the building for this museum is kind of an older building, and it has a lot of like small rooms that kind of jut off of one main hallway. But it's actually very cool the way that they have organized the museum. They have kind of grouped items together, and so each room represents like a different piece of history, a different time era, a different war era. So as you go into the room, everything in that room is from the same time. And so that is really cool and kind of helpful, especially like for kids. Our kids are homeschooled, so we were showing them, as history progressed and what was happening in the world at different points in time. It was very nice the way that they had it all organized together like that. One of the museum employees was showing us that this flag was donated from veterans that took it with them when they were over in the war. And you can actually still see the dried blood on this flag from where it had been, splattered from, a battle, a war. And they had this flag draped on the ceiling, and you could see the bullet holes and the blood splatter. And it was just a very somber, experience to look at that flag and to know what happened and what it represented. Okay, now here's the part where the kids really got excited. This is the Kids Zone area, which they have set up as a STEM lab. So it has all sorts of different STEM themed activities, and it's super interactive for kids. Our kids were the only kids there at the museum, so we had this whole section to ourselves, but there was just so much fun stuff that all had an emphasis on math, science, technology, engineering, those sort of STEM themed things, and my kids had such a blast with this. On the other side of the STEM room, there was like a arts room. And so they had this little stage and a bunch of props you could dress up and perform your own little show, which my two girls especially were totally into because they love stuff like that. And they had a blast doing this.
Yeah, also, that's how you had to change the channel.
Oh, hello. Oh.
And when I was little, if we turned off the TV at night, there would still be a little dot left in the middle for
Then the next section that we went into was like a sports simulator lab area, and this was super cool. Also, again, very interactive. The first thing that they had set up was where you could throw the ball and it would tell you how fast you threw it. So that was really fun. Everybody, the kids and adults, everybody wanted to try that out. They also had a little putting green that was really fun. And then they had a punching bag machine that would, again, time you and see like how hard or how fast you punched the punching bag. And that was really cool also. Oh, good job.
You're really kind of short.
I know, it's tall.
Her first one was straight. This one's straight to the wall.
See Logan do it. Ooh! Wow.
You gotta get all your screw. Wait. You gotta hit right here, okay? Straight punch.
It's hard.
Do it hard like you mean it.
One! This was kind of cool. They had several different kind of famous celebrities, their heights lined up so you could see how they compared. They also had a wingspan lined up so you could compare yours. That was really cool. And then over here on this side, they had all local artifacts, so different local high school, football teams and different things like that. They had a bunch of stats and awards and plaques and old uniforms and different things. Probably really cool if you're from here and you have like local ties to this area. We don't really, but it was still cool to look at and see everything. And then the last area that we went into had an interactive screen, almost like a planetarium, and the kids could go up there and move the buttons around and make the screen move. It was almost like it was a 3D thing. Very cool. It had some different war videos and then some stuff about like the solar system. And that was really cool, and the kids really enjoyed it. I am so glad we found the Cherokee County Museum, and we highly recommend it if you live in the area or if you're visiting. It was so fun, very surprising. We didn't really know what to expect, but it exceeded any expectations that we did have. All ages will love it, and it's just a really cool place, especially if you love history like we do. So we definitely recommend checking it out. I hope that this video was helpful for you. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up because that really does help out my channel. I'd also love to have you subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye-bye.